Hello, and welcome to a very special extended episode of the Mr. English podcast. I'm David, and I'm here with my co-host, Sarah. We're devoting a deep dive to a topic listeners constantly ask about.
Hi, everyone. That's right, David. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on a universal truth. Even native English speakers constantly make mistakes. For learners, this isn't meant to be a critique of natives, but a liberation for you. If we can mess up, so can you, and it's completely okay.
Absolutely. Our goal today is to explore, explain, and normalize these errors. We'll look at the most common written and spoken blunders, delve into why they happen from a linguistic and psychological perspective, and most importantly, discuss what you can learn from them.
Let's start with the psychology. Why do these errors persist? A lot of it comes down to the difference between acquired language and learned language. Most natives acquire English naturally through listening and speaking from infancy. The rules are internalized, not always studied. This leads to intuitive, but sometimes incorrect usage.
Exactly. Then there's the influence of dialect. What's considered an error in standard textbook English might be perfectly correct in a regional dialect. For example, double negatives like I don't know nothing are grammatically standard in many dialects around the world, even if they're taught as incorrect in formal writing.
And finally, there's simple haste and informality. In a quick text message or social media comment, the priority is speed and communication, not perfect grammar. The brain chooses the fastest path, which often leads to homophone errors. Understanding this context is key. It's not about ignorance, it's about the mode of communication.
So, with that framework in mind, let's dive into the most common category of error, one that fuels countless internet arguments: the homophone.
Let's meet the celebrities of confusion. First up, the duo everyone loves to correct: your and your.
This is the perfect example of a spelling error born from identical pronunciation. Your is a possessive adjective. It always modifies a noun to show ownership. Your phone, your idea, your dedication to learning English.
And your is a contraction. It's the smashed together form of you and are. The apostrophe is your clue that letters are missing. You're amazing. You're going to love this. I think you're right.
The easiest way to test yourself is the substitution trick. Read your sentence and replace your with you are. If it sounds correct, you've used the right one. If it sounds strange, you need your. For example, is that you are book? Sounds wrong, so it must be your book.
Next, the triple threat: there, and there. This trio causes even more headaches because there are three options. There often refers to a place, the opposite of here. Put it down over there. It's also used in existential clauses like there is a problem.
There is the possessive form for a group of people. It indicates something belongs to them. Their car is blue. The students finished their project. It answers the question, whose?
And there is, you guessed it, another contraction. This one is for they and are. They're coming to dinner. I hope they're ready. The same substitution trick works here. Replace there with they are. If it fits, you're golden.
Let's do a quick test for our listeners. Complete this sentence. Blank going to put blank bags over blank by the door. Pauses. The answer is they're going to put their bags over there by the door.
See? One from each category.
Now for the trickiest homophone pair, it's and its. This one feels counterintuitive because it seems to break the rules we just learned about apostrophes.
Let's be clear. It's with an apostrophe is only ever a contraction for it is or it has. That's it. The apostrophe's only job here is to stand in for the missing letters. It's a beautiful day. It's been a long week.
It's without an apostrophe is a possessive pronoun. It shows that something belongs to it. The company released its new product. The cat licked its paws. The reason this confuses people is because we usually add s to make a noun possessive, David's opinion, but its is a pronoun. And like other possessive pronouns, his, hers, ours, yours, theirs, it doesn't use an apostrophe.
So remember, if you can replace it with it is or it has, use its. If you're showing possession, use its. This leads us to a broader punctuation problem, the apostrophe catastrophe.
The apostrophe has two jobs, possession and contraction. It does not have a job making words plural. This is perhaps the most common punctuation error in the English-speaking world. You see it on signs everywhere. Fresh apples. The Smiths welcome you.
Those are wrong. It should be fresh apples and the Smiths welcome you, meaning the Smith family. An apostrophe in a plural is always incorrect. The only time an apostrophe is used with a plural is if the plural noun itself possesses something. The players' locker room, meaning the locker room belonging to the players.
It's a small mark that makes a huge difference in professionalism. If you simply remember that plurals don't get apostrophes, you'll already be ahead of the game.
Let's move from writing to speaking and another common trouble spot, verb tenses. Even natives get tangled up with irregular verbs.
The most classic example is the confusion between saw and seen. Saw is the simple past tense. It stands alone for a completed action. I saw a great movie yesterday. He saw the accident.
Seen is the past participle. It cannot stand alone. It needs a helper verb like have, has, or had. I have seen that movie 3 times. She had already seen the report. The error, I seen it, is never correct in standard English.
The same logic applies to did and done. I did my work, I have done my work, but never I done my work. This pattern repeats for many irregular verbs like gone and went and eaten and ate. It takes practice to internalize these patterns.
Now let's explore a fascinating error that comes directly from how we speak. The could of, should of, would of.
This is a brilliant example of a phonetic spelling error. The correct form is, of course, could have, should have, would have, but in rapid natural speech, we contract them. Could have becomes could've.
And could've sounds almost identical to could of. So when people who are more familiar with the spoken sound go to write it, they write the words they know, could and of. It makes sense to the ear, but it's grammatically nonsense because of is a preposition, not a verb.
The have in these phrases is essential. It creates the perfect aspect, indicating a past possibility or unfulfilled obligation. I could have helped. You should have called. Remember, it's about what you have the ability or duty to do.
Now let's talk about the mistakes you hear. Mispronunciations are incredibly common and often spread because people learn words by hearing them before seeing them spelled.
The famous one is espresso for espresso. There is no X in the word. It comes from Italian meaning pressed out. Another is nuclear for nuclear. It's so common it's become a political talking point, but the standard pronunciation is new-clear.
Then we have irregardless. This word is a blend of irrespective and regardless. Most grammarians and style guides consider it non-standard. The word you want is regardless. It's a great example of a word that exists primarily because people keep saying it, not because it's logically needed.
My personal favorite category is the malapropism or eggcorn. Misheard phrases, they get repeated because they still make a kind of sense. The classic is for all intensive purposes. The original correct phrase is for all intents and purposes, meaning in every practical sense.
Another good one is damp squid instead of damp squib. A squib is a small firework. A damp one would be a disappointment. A damp squid is just a wet animal. These errors are charming because they show the brain's creativity in trying to make sense of unfamiliar phrases.
They really do. It highlights that language is a living, evolving thing, not a set of stone tablets. People are always adapting and reshaping it, for better or worse. Beyond pronunciation, people often choose the entirely wrong word. These semantic errors can create real confusion.
The classic pair is affect and effect. Usually, effect is a noun, meaning a result or consequence. The movie had a powerful effect on me. The new law takes effect tomorrow.
And affect is usually a verb, meaning to influence or change. The weather affected our travel plans. His criticism didn't affect her confidence. A good trick is remember A for action, affect is a verb, and E for end result, affect is a noun.
Then there's then and then. Then is about time. We had dinner and then we saw a movie. Back then, things were different. Then is used for comparison. She is taller than me. I'd rather walk than drive.
Another big one is the misuse of literally. People use it for emphasis when they mean figuratively. My head literally exploded when I heard the news. Unless you're describing a medical catastrophe, your head figuratively exploded. This usage is so common that dictionaries now note it as informal, but it still bothers many purists.
These distinctions matter because they ensure clarity. Using the precise word means your message is understood exactly as you intended. For our advanced learners, let's get into some errors that appear in writing and more formal speech. These are the gremlins that sneak into even professional work.
Let's talk about dangling modifiers. This is when a descriptive phrase doesn't logically connect to the noun it's supposed to be describing. The classic example, walking to the store, the rain started to fall. This implies the rain was walking to the store. It should be, as I was walking to the store, the rain started to fall.
It's a clarity issue. The reader is left wondering who or what is performing the action. Always make sure your introductory phrase connects directly to the subject of the main clause.
Another advanced topic is subject-verb agreement with tricky subjects. Words like everyone, somebody, each, and nobody are singular. So it's everyone is here, not everyone are here. Conversely, words like data and media are technically plural, the singular is datum and medium, but they are often used as singular nouns now because they feel like collective concepts. The data is convincing is now widely accepted.
Navigating these nuances is about understanding both the formal rules and how common usage is evolving. It's a balancing act between prescriptive grammar and descriptive reality.
It's crucial to address that not everything that sounds wrong is actually an error. Much of it is just dialect.
Absolutely. In many dialects of English, particularly in various parts of the UK and the US, you'll hear structures like, I might could do that, or I used to could. These are called double modals and are a standard feature of those dialects, not a mistake within that community.
The use of y'all for the second-person plural is grammatically efficient and correct in Southern American English. In many dialects, the past participle gotten is standard, while in others only got is used. These aren't errors, they're variations.
This is a vital lesson for learners. The standard English taught in textbooks is just one dialect among many. Understanding different dialects makes you a more flexible and empathetic communicator. The goal is to be understood, not to erase linguistic diversity.
Well said. It reminds us that language is deeply tied to culture and identity.
So, after this grand tour of errors, what is the ultimate takeaway for our audience of dedicated English learners?
The number one takeaway is liberation. Perfection is a myth. Everyone makes mistakes natives, learners, teachers, everyone. Seeing that even fluent speakers struggle with its or then and than should relieve the immense pressure you might feel to be perfect. It means you're normal.
The second takeaway is power. By understanding these common pitfalls, you can achieve a level of conscious accuracy that many natives who operate on autopilot do not. This is a huge advantage in writing essays, reports, or professional emails. Your awareness is your strength.
The third takeaway is context. Understanding register is everything. The way you write a text message to a friend is not the way you write a university paper. Knowing the rule is important, but knowing when to apply it with rigor and when to relax is a key aspect of advanced fluency.
Don't let the fear of a small mistake prevent you from making the big, bold step of speaking up. A misplaced apostrophe is a tiny issue compared to the monumental achievement of expressing a complex thought in another language.
We've been getting some great questions from our live chat. One listener, Anna, asks, what is the best way to avoid these mistakes in my own writing?
Great question, Anna. The single best tool is proofreading. Read your writing out loud. Slowly. Your ear will often catch what your eye misses. If something sounds wrong, it probably is. And for the homophones, consciously apply the substitution test every time.
Another listener, Marco, asks, should I correct native speakers when I hear them make these mistakes?
That's a delicate one, Marco. Generally, no. Unsolicited correction, especially in social situations, is often considered rude. If it's a close friend and you have that kind of relationship, maybe. If it's a teacher or colleague and the error affects understanding, perhaps approach it gently, but mostly just focus on your own usage.
Wise advice. Well, that brings us to the end of our marathon session. We hope this has been enlightening, encouraging, and most of all, reassuring.
Remember, every mistake is a sign that you're trying, learning, and engaging with this incredible, complicated language. Be proud of every error because it means you're one step closer to fluency.
Join us next time on the Mr. English podcast, where we'll be exploring how to use AI tools to practice your English conversation skills 24/7.
Until then, keep learning, keep speaking, and be kind to yourself. Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.